Quarterback rolling out to the left. Robbins sliding down to make the sack. Loss of 7. Beau Robbins, another quarterback in the gun. 2nd down and 7. Pressure coming. Robbins right up the middle for a sack. Shotgun for Pike on 1st down and 10. Blitz coming from Carmel. Beau Robbins up the middle and smashing the quarterback down.
When did you realize that football was something that could go beyond high school?
So I started playing tackle football. My first year was 2nd grade, and so I played all the way throughout, and I always felt like I was a good player. I never really knew that I'd have the opportunities to go play in college. I'd say probably around 5th and 6th grade, so that was when we went from playing Carmel Dad's Club to playing with more of a travel team, playing against other MIC teams. And we came to that, and I was still pretty good. And then I went to middle school, I was still pretty good. I got to high school, and I was still, pretty good. And so that's when, I'd say probably my freshman year, after my freshman season, talking with Coach Hebert and kind of getting ready to come into my sophomore year, that's kind of when I realized if I come in and keep getting better and play as hard as I can and perform how I should, playing at the next level could be a possibility. And thankfully, all those things happened, and so that's where I am now.
All that I've ever heard about you is that around 7th and 8th grade, you just hit a massive growth spurt. Everyone just knew you as a massive individual. What was that experience like transitioning into that size increase?
So I've always played a bunch of different sports. Basketball, I've played basketball my entire life. I've played soccer, I've played lacrosse. So I felt like that's helped a lot with my athleticism, and so I kind of had the good groundwork. And then once I got a lot bigger, the fundamentals were already there. So I came into 7th grade and 8th grade, and that's the first year we were there were no black stripes. Everybody could carry the ball, and so I played running back in middle school, and so that was a lot of fun, obviously, because got a lot bigger, obviously, but I managed to keep a lot of my speed and athleticism and was able to play a lot of different positions. And so middle school was definitely some of the most fun I've had playing football.
We sit here in this massive little facility where you get your lifts in. So I gotta ask, how has Carmel helped you get to this point?
Oh my gosh, I don't know where I'd be without Carmel and their the coaches and all the relationships I've built with everyone in the building. The support staff is amazing, and obviously we're lucky enough to have this amazing facility to come. It makes you so excited to come work out every day, and so really, if you come in and take advantage of all the opportunities and tools you're given, you really have no choice but to be successful.
Now you look back at your Carmel career, what do you think of your legacy here?
I'd like to be thought of as, just a really solid, a guy, one of the guys that younger kids, when they came to watch on Friday nights, they can look at and be like, that's how I want to play. And not even necessarily playmaking, but just how you approach the game, how hard you're willing to play. You just be willing to do whatever it takes to make the team better. I started out as an outside linebacker, and I really it was a hard position, obviously, but I always felt like I was an athletic guy, I could play outside linebacker, and then I was approached with playing defensive line, and at first I was a little skeptical, but these coaches are the head coaches at Carmel for a reason. They know what they're talking about, so you just put all your faith into it, learn the position. And obviously that's worked out. That's worked out for my benefit for sure.
What was your recruitment process like from your perspective?
So my sophomore year, I started varsity all throughout my sophomore year. We won the state championship, and Indiana was the first school to call and offer me. I'll never forget it. It was the day I think it was the day after we had won semi-state. And I had a really good game, and we were going to state the next week, and all excited, and everything was great. Then I get a call from IU and find out I'm going to get my first college scholarship offer, and so that really started it, and I was super excited about that, and that put IU immediately into that's going to be one of my top schools. And then from there, I got offers from most like the local schools. And then I would say I kind of started taking some visits, visited like Ohio State and Notre Dame and some of the really big schools, just to kind of like start to get a feel for it. But really at the time, recruiting wasn't really even like the most important thing on my mind. The most important thing on my mind was coming back my junior year and getting ready to go try to win another state championship for sure. So junior year comes, unfortunately we lose in semi-state, but I was still able to have another good season, another solid season. And I would say probably like the spring of my junior year was probably the busiest recruiting period for me. So my junior year, I would say that's when I really found out, you know, what schools were really interested in me, what schools I could start to kind of picture myself at. And, you know, obviously, so my top 5, I kind of came up with the top 5 around my junior year, and that was really Indiana, Iowa, Michigan State, like Northwestern, and
you can't even remember the rest of the top 5.
Maybe one other one. And so
maybe there was another school involved. Who knows?
So you know, obviously all Big Ten schools. Like I always knew I wanted to play in the Big Ten. It's right here. It's at home. It's an awesome conference. And so then with that in mind, I started to take more visits. I visited Indiana a few more times, and I visited a couple of the other schools. And that's when Indiana really started to stick out to me throughout that process. You know, all the schools have awesome facilities, all the schools have really good academics. In the Big Ten, you really can't go wrong as far as like academically. But that's when the relationships with the coaching staff and the people there really started to make a big difference for me. And for sure with IU, Coach Hagan and Coach Allen, and really all the people on the staff, just, you know, out of the way, just so nice and respectful, and started to build relationships with all of them, and realized that when I go and visited there, it almost felt like I was visiting home. Like it was a very comfortable place for me to be. So I think I took one more visit in the spring, and got to check out a lot of the academics. And Indiana is a very impressive school academically. And so once I was like very comfortable with academics, comfortable with the coaching staff, it's like I can really see myself playing here. And that's what it really led to my decision in early summer. I think it was like beginning of June when I really felt comfortable with my choice, and I was ready to commit to IU.
I know Coach Hagan came to Carmel to visit you. What kind of relationship did he establish with you, and how meaningful is that relationship moving forward?
Coach Hagan is a very straightforward guy. I feel like there was no like messing around as far as what he saw for me in the future, what kind of role I'd be playing on the team, and I really appreciated that. Because in recruiting, there are for sure times where guys can recruit you and maybe not be completely honest, or maybe be a little fuzzy with, you know, where they see you and stuff like that. But Coach Hagan was always very honest and upfront with me, and I can't wait to have him as my coach and be coached up by him and Coach Allen, and just really once those relationships began to form, you know, I realized that like I couldn't go anywhere else. Like I had to go there. I had to go to IU.
You had to go to IU. And you're not the only person that said that. Indiana bringing in arguably their best recruiting class of all time. How strong do you think the momentum is around this program?
Oh, I think it's super, especially with a lot of our Indiana guys coming up there. I think that's something Coach Allen and Coach Hagan always stressed to me, was that they would love to have some of like our guys, like the best in Indiana, can go play at Indiana. And so we got like 3 other awesome recruits coming out of Indiana, and then we got a bunch of other awesome recruits coming in from all over the place. So it's really cool that we could kind of maybe build the core around some of the guys from Indiana, and then get the additions of all these other great players from all over the country. So I think it's definitely upward momentum, and we're going strong. And really now I really just can't wait to get there and go to work.
What was it like when you found out Samson James was committing to IU?
I remember, I was at a basketball game, at an IU game on a visit, probably like I think it might have been my sophomore year, the winter of my sophomore year. and Samson was there too visiting, and we crossed paths like in the hallway, and he told me, he was like, "This is the place to be." And I was like, "All right, yeah." I was like, "Sweet, like for sure." And then, so that was quite a while ago, pretty early in the process though. And so then he commits to Ohio State, which, you know, like I can't blame him for going to Ohio State. But at the same time, I was like, he needs to be at Indiana for sure. But and then I think I started to hear like a few rumors that like Samson might not be going to Ohio State. And as soon as I heard that, I messaged him on Twitter, and I'm like, "What's up, man? Like, I use the place to be and all this stuff." And before he even like sees the message, he had tweeted out that he had committed to IU. So it was definitely, it was very quick and obviously super exciting, and I was just super happy. You know, Samson's an awesome player and another in-state guy, which is cool too. So, and I think that really helped like really get the momentum going as well. So yeah, that was a really exciting time.
And you, Samson, Cam, all here from Indiana, what does it mean to be representing your state going to Indiana University?
I think there's definitely something special about getting to go wear Indiana across your chest as opposed to, you know, going to somewhere else, because like you're really, like we know Indiana is an awesome football state. You know, I played in the MIC for 4 years, and I know that Indiana has some of the best football around. And so now we just need to transfer that to the next level and be able to go out there with wearing Indiana and go represent and go, you know, just play hard and win games and have a lot of fun while doing it.
And since you're from Carmel, you've already got a few connections at the program, one including Britt Beery. He talks about how he was a mentor to you, I guess, in his sophomore year. What's your relationship like with him?
You know, I like Britt a lot. So like I said, I had started out outside linebacker, and so he was a senior, and I was a sophomore on that state championship team. So when I moved to D-line initially, he was a lot of help with that process. So he was the other defensive end, and so he helped me out a lot, you know, just learning the position and stuff like that. And Britt's a great guy as well, and I've gotten to spend some time with him on my visits too, and looking forward to, and it's nice to kind of know some people already too. So I'm looking forward to get to go really like build this team and spend some more time with all those guys.
Looking forward, I think every Indiana fan is extremely excited for you, Samson, and the rest of this recruiting class coming in. What is Beau Robbins going to do when he gets to Indiana?
You know, I'm going to come in for sure, and all you can really do is, you know, work as hard as you can, play as hard as you can. That's always kind of just been my mindset. You know, I'll do anything the team needs, anything that's asked of me, and just try to do it to the best of my ability. For sure want to go in and compete, and I feel like if I go and do those things, then the rest will take care of itself.
What do you want to accomplish when you're in Indiana?
I would say, I don't know, that's a tough question.
Ooh, you don't want to put the lofty goals up there, do you?
I think for sure we want to make a bowl game. We want to get back to a bowl game. We want to win a bowl game. We want to make it to the Big Ten championship for sure. Then we want to win the Big Ten championship. I think those are, and I've discussed that with, you know, Coach Hagan and Coach Allen, as some, like, those are for sure our goals going into it. And obviously there's a lot of work to be done. And I think this class could be the start of, like, I think we're all willing to put in that work and really just do everything we can to make those goals attainable.
And what makes you so good at what you do? What are some of your strengths that Indiana fans can be looking out for?
I think for sure, obviously my size has always been a big advantage for me, but as I kind of mentioned earlier, not only my size, but I'm able to kind of be pretty athletic at a position that, you know, requires quite a bit of athleticism with rushing the passer. And but what I've noticed for sure is just like my development from like my sophomore year to my senior year was I was able to, you know, make plays not only based on my athleticism and God-given talents, but, you know, be able to like have a good knowledge for the game, to be aware of, you know, what play could be coming up next, and be able to put myself in the right position and just do whatever I can to help the defense.
You mentioned your athleticism, and I know you played basketball and that helps, but I heard you got a few other tricks that help you with your athleticism.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big believer in hot yoga. So actually my mom loves hot yoga, and she's been a member there forever and gone forever, and she eventually convinced me to go with her and to go try it, and I think that was like my sophomore year. So, and I went in thinking, you know, it's just yoga, it won't be difficult or anything at all, but I mean, you get in there, the room's like 105 degrees, and it's like 60 minutes long, and you're doing all these, you know, tough like balancing stretches and stuff like that, and I just feel really great after I do it, because you kind of sweat out all the toxins at the same time as getting some really deep stretches in. And I think it's helped a lot as far as like injury prevention and just kind of like feeling loose and feeling good.
So are you going to be bringing some of your Hoosier teammates to hot yoga when you get to IU?
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely going to try to influence them. I've brought a couple teammates from Carmel. Usually it goes pretty similar for everyone. You get there your first class and you're like, this is so hot, this is horrible. But if you just stick with it for a couple times, no doubt it is hot and it is hard, but it's very beneficial, and I know as soon as I get to Bloomington, I'm going to be looking for some good studios to go to.
Now, do you think you could ever drag Tom Allen out there?
I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about that. I mean,
you're picturing Tom Allen doing hot yoga right now. You can't really answer it.
I think for sure, obviously there's a lot of stress being a head coach, so I think that could be very beneficial for lots of different reasons, so I might have to talk to him about it.
Ultimately, what is your end goal with football in general?
I would say my end goal is just to try to get as much out of football as possible. It's already given me so much, you know, going and getting an education at Indiana for free is incredible. So I'd really like just, you know, play as hard as I can for as long as I can, and wherever that takes me, I guess at the end of the day, I just want to be able to look back and be like, I did everything I could. I played as hard as I could every single play. And I guess wherever I end up is just where I end up.